Hey guys, Soundly here. So Bedrock 1.13 has come out and man, things are broken. But the good thing is that new designs are actually coming out for Trident killers that are in a direct response to Trident killers being broken from 1.13. And I guess they're not really broken. They're saying that the mobs actually putting momentum or imparting momentum onto the Trident was actually supposed to be part of the game originally. Um, anyway, the cool thing is that people like navynexus have come out with new designs that actually, in all actuality, are better than the original designs and more elegant and just cleaner. Probably worked in 1.12 anyway. So it's kind of weird that like we hadn't actually used that design before because the design's awesome. I was like really peeved that Trident killers had like stopped working, and then navynexus like immediately comes out with this new design that's just like so elegant. And I'm like, man, that's perfect. Why didn't we do that before? Anyway, so the thing is that Silent Whisperer came out with this advanced Trident killer, and he uses it on these mob farms. So that you have these big mob farms that feed into this advanced Trident killer, but there's different mob farms around the AFK location, and all the XP gets transported, and that's the key. All the XP gets transported to the player in a little safe AFK location, which is great, right? It's really awesome, that design. Unfortunately, in 1.13, the design for the advanced Trident killer just stopped working. It broke. So because it was based on the pistons pushing, that now the pistons fall because they get momentum imparted on them from the mobs. Anyway, long story short, we had on the Phantom realm, which is the realm I play with, we had a mob farm, which is a pretty big mob farm, the guy that supplies all of our rockets for the most part. And his mob farm broke, and so I was thinking to myself, how could I actually, and there's actually a witch farm that I have that I wanted to get XP and couldn't get XP from anymore. Basically I had to use the navynexus design. The XP, I couldn't get the XP out into a stream, even though my drops come in a stream. So it'd be perfect if I could figure this out, and I've figured out a really good design. There are some small caveats, but for the most part, it's going to work for most people, and I mean, it should work for everybody, really. But there is a slight little bit of loss with baby zombies and baby pigmen. But to me, it's an acceptable trade-off. I'll lose that, whatever. I don't really care about that because I'm going to get the rest of the mobs, especially with witch farms, right? Witch farms are never going to have that problem. So let's take a look at it and see what's going on. I have the navynexus. Let me turn this off. It's a little bit loud right now. Let's see here. Yep. Boom. Yeah, so obviously this on-off switch might have to be tweaked a little bit, unless you want to put some scaffolding right here, which I would do probably. I'd be perfectly fine with having a little bit of scaffolding just to turn that on and off. But if you want it a little bit more convenient down the ground, obviously you're going to have to change the design a little bit. But okay, let's look at the pluses and minuses of this design and how it's done. So I have the navynexus Trident killer in here. If you haven't seen navynexus Trident killer, then you should check it out. Basically, you have a piston. So every wall has a piston and an observer on it. You can see the piston down there. Let's go ahead and get down here so you can see it. So here's the piston, basically in the same location on every wall. And you have an observer with, as Avomance would say, its little fart, the butt side is coming out into the piston. And then you have this torch on the side of each piston, and that just creates like this infinite update loop on these observers, and boom, there you go. It just keeps hitting all those pistons over and over and over again. Now with the Nexus design, he had some stone down there on the bottom as the floor, and what I've discovered is that you can also use glass panes. The great thing about using glass panes is that the Trident killer still works. The Tridents don't fall. Like, there are other things that they will fall on, like walls. They'll fall on walls. They won't work right with walls anymore. But for this design, it's great because now all the XP and the items are going to fall. They're going to fall straight right here, just like the advanced Trident killer did. Now, the only problem is that you'll have these guys also fall, right? These little pigmen like this will fall, these little baby pigmen. Now, it's not really that big a deal if one or two escape, because the items will still just go right past him, and the XP will just go right past him and go straight up that thing, no problem. And you can clean up these little, you know, these little guys manually occasionally. Alright, so come right back over the top. So, okay, so anyway, long story short, those little guys are going to fall, right? They're going to fall through that floor. And so what we ended up doing is creating the smother chamber down here. So we have this smother chamber, and I'd like to thank Phantom Limb for helping me out on this. This was his idea. This part right here was my idea with the drops, and this part was Phantom's idea, so it was definitely a team collab effort, and I really appreciate Phantom doing that. But this smother chamber, you know, obviously we have 2 deep on the edges here as well, just to make sure that, as a matter of fact, I need to add this back. These are supposed to be blocks right here. So 2 deep, just to make sure that if anything glitches through, it'll get smothered. Like if any of the little pigmen glitch through, or if any of the little zombies glitch through, they'll get smothered. Occasionally, you'll see, if there's a whole lot of mobs, you'll see like a witch glitch through or something like that. I mean, let's put a whole bunch in here and kind of see what I'm talking about. So right there, this little baby pigman should have gone down in there. He's probably getting smothered right now. So they pretty much fall right away, the babies. So let's try and get another baby so we can actually see it in there before it gets smothered. So it's actually happening. Obviously dying. Come on, R&D. Help me out here. Give me some babies. Goodness, there. He's gonna fall through. There he is. He's in there. There he is. Both guys getting smothered. And now this guy glitched through. The big guy just glitched through, so he's gonna get smothered on the next round. See, all the items are dropping, and all of the XP is dropping. It's going in this stream, being fed right up here. Boom. There you go. Oh, you love that sound, don't you? Love that sound of XP hitting. That is great. Alright. So, that's pretty much it. You might be asking, you know, what's going on with this redstone here? What's powering the pistons? I just have a hopper clock down here. And this hopper clock is set to 25 items. Let's see where. Okay, here's the hopper clock, and we have 25 items in there. And 25 items is just, I just counted how long it took, how many items it took time-wise for them to actually get smothered. That sounds so good, doesn't it? So anyway, I can just count how long it took for them to actually get smothered, and I, you know, just, that's how many items I put in there. So it's just back and forth. Items will drop, and so yeah, sometimes they land on top there while it's closed, but as soon as it opens up, it goes straight down the stream. Boom. Item transport and XP transport. Here is your 1.13 Bedrock Advanced Trident Killer. Thanks for watching, guys. Sally out.